Hey, let's go ahead and get started with a reading for the collective. Let's find out what's going on here. Wow, we got the Hermit in the reverse. Okay, coming out of some type of introspection. Okay, all right, and then the crossing card is the King of Swords. Let's find out what this is all about. What else do we have here, Spirit? We've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, somebody's here worried about something. Some type of information that came out. Magician in the recent past. We've got the Temperance card. What else? So trying to stay balanced. We've got the Hanged Man. All right, we've got 4 major arcanas out of 6 cards so far. All right, Page of Wands in the reverse. 6 of Swords. Okay, you're coming out of a time of stagnancy. For some of you, you guys have been in an imbalance. We've got the Devil in the Hopes and Fears. Wow, that's a lot of major arcanas. And one more card. We've got the Knight of Wands, but it showed up in the reverse. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. Whew, okay. Where to even begin? So for some of you, you really are coming out of a time of introspection. You guys have been in hermit mode for quite some time. Either that or you're a Virgo, okay? We have Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, Capricorn prominently in this reading, okay? And what I'm getting is you could have been in contact. I don't know if you are the King of Wands or if you've been dealing with this King of Wands. We've got a King of Wands and a King of Swords here. The King of Wands in the upright is somebody who's a go-getter. They make a decision. They go after what they want, but I'm almost getting that you've been dealing with some type of a trickster here. For some of you, this is a relationship. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean romantic, but this is a very toxic relationship. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really like this energy. I feel like one of the things that I want to say is be careful of your children. Watch your children around this person, because I am getting the little kid in the reverse here, and it's in alignment with this Devil energy and the Nine of Swords. Somebody here is worried about their children. And for good reason. We have a lot of, attacking of the children. And I think someone here is really contemplating taking legal action against someone, because the King of Swords here can definitely be like a cop, an attorney, somebody in a legal position. And it has something to do with this Devil here in the Hopes and Fears. Some of you are fearing this Devil, and this Devil is in alignment with this King of Wands and this Knight of Wands energy, which is a lot of like fiery, passionate, sexual energy. So for some of you, you need to be very mindful of your children around this type of person. I feel like for some of you, you're worried about having to take legal action. Maybe you're deciding that you're going to press charges against someone. Yeah, it could even be a family member, because we have the 10 of Pentacles here. This reading isn't going to be for everyone. But for those of you who do have children, my suggestion is even being mindful of the people at your school, because that could also be what it is. Because we think about the Hermit in the upright can also be a teacher. So it could be somebody in a place of authority that you need to watch over your children. Some of you are like on the fence about what to do about this situation. But I do see where, you guys are moving away. You guys are moving away from this situation. You're moving away from these family members. You're moving away from this toxic environment. But you're not coming out unscathed. Like, you're putting your head down and you're just moving away. But whatever this situation is, it created an imbalance in your life. This person was like a chameleon. They were like a chameleon. They blended in. Everything seemed normal. But then you realized it wasn't normal. I do feel like you need to take legal action. I feel like also because Sagittarius is also legal law. Okay, just like Libra. Libra is legal law. But this devil here is toxicity, okay? Normally these guys are naked, except for it's YouTube, so now we have to put clothes on them. So did I do a nice job drawing on there? But yeah, and I see that normally this is like the one night stand of the zodiac, and then this is also a phallic symbol, and I won't say what it's for, but I'm thinking you guys should know that already. So be mindful of child predators. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere, okay? You got to watch your kids nowadays. And it's not even, it can be also about their sexual orientation. That's what we're dealing with now in schools, is these teachers overstepping boundaries and doing things with these kids that we need to put the kibosh to. I'm telling you right now, I am so grateful that I had my kids and they're all in their 20s now, that I don't have to deal with any of this shit. Like back when my kids were little, this wasn't so, well, I mean, some of people, it's even acceptable, in some states, it's not even against the law anymore. So be mindful where you're moving. But they're really coming after our children, man. And you're going to have to do what it takes. I mean, they're even coming after your children for vaccines. They're coming after your children for, their orientation. They're coming after your children. I mean, they're just coming after your kids, man. And it's going to be up to you to protect them. And for some of your mothers who, you're taking on that single mom or single dad role, you got to take on both roles. And either way, you're going to have to step into that masculine and you're going to have to do something. I'll tell you right now, if my kids were little at this point in time and people were doing what they're doing now with little kids, heads would be rolling. Heads would be rolling, let me tell you. You would not be getting away with that with me and my kids. I can be perfectly clear with you about that. But that's why I'm such an advocate, because I was raised around children who have mental health issues. I was raised around children who have, been abused in so many ways. I was adopted and we had foster kids and group home kids. What the fuck do you think was happening to these kids? You think that they were in our care because their parents were good? No. We were there to protect the children. So for me, I have a very keen eye because I grew up with a lot of people who had mental health issues. I grew up with people who, these kids, it was bad. And then because I was adopted, I had my own damn issues, So to see what's going on nowadays when I have I can hone in on that shit and I can see it, it's not hard for me to see when you're messing with kids. And then having my own kids, it's definitely, you can't get anything past me. And if you guys are okay with this, then you really need to do your research and you really need to look in at what's going on, because what I'm telling you right now in this reading is toxic as shit. The fact that the devil didn't come up in the reverse, he came up in the upright with all these wands. I think that you guys need to start seeing things from a different perspective. You need to start doing your damn research. You need to stop feeding your kids these damn poisons. You need to stop allowing and start paying attention to the curriculum that is being taught to your children. You need to start doing your damn research when it comes to the vaccines and what they're inoculating your children with. You need to pay attention to these family members that are acting a little bit funny and you're like, something seems off. Don't leave your kids with them. And if your kids are acting weird around them, pay attention to your children, because your children are trying to tell you something. Maybe they're having, wetting the bed more. Maybe they're showing signs that something is wrong. For others of you, this is about online bullying. We need to talk to our kids. We need to communicate with our kids. Now we have children that all they do is put their head in their phone. Now we have parents that what they do is hand their kids a tablet or a cell phone and let them sit in their room all hours of the day. And there's something going on that you can't. And then you wait until, things get so bad and there's a blow up and something bad happens for you to go, oh, well, I thought I saw signs, but I wasn't quite clear because you didn't talk to them. You gave them a tablet. You put them in front of a TV or a computer. You made that their babysitter. Yeah, you put some parental controls on there, but you also have to remember that a lot of these apps that you're downloading on these kids' computers and cell phones, they're not protected. That's where child predators go to get a hold of your kids. So that's what I'm seeing in this reading. And I feel like you guys really need to wisen up. That's what the Hangman, really see this for what it is. Not through the eyes, not through the trickster bullshit that the media is trying to tell you is okay. Your state is saying, child predators, it's just, now they're trying to diminish that and make that just a normal thing. That is not normal. So parents, get into those school meetings. Find out what the curriculum is for your children. Because if you don't, and then you wait until something really bad happens, or they turn your kid against you, or they inoculate your child without telling you, because that seems to be the norm now, pay attention to your children. More now than ever. Take away that computer. Go make memories with your family. Be a part of your kids' lives. Get them into sports. Take them outside. Go get into nature. Take them on hikes. Take them to museums. Have family game nights. Have family movie nights. Start being more involved. And then you're not going to wait until some shitty catastrophe that could have been avoided had you just paid attention. Had you paid attention to how long that they were sitting online. The amount of depression that they were feeling. For some of you, your kids are being bullied at school. You need to have a talk with their teachers. I would hate to be a parent of a small child right now because I'd probably end up in prison if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to leave that there. Subject to interpretation. This reading isn't for everybody, but for the ones that it is, watch your kids, man. Save the children. Comment. Let me know how this reading resonates. Share this with someone that you know needs to hear it. Yeah, and if you guys need help with this situation, please reach out. I would love to be able to help you through all this. This is a heavy, heavy reading. That's why it was really hard for me to get started because I just felt it in my heart and I felt it in the pit of my stomach. So, all right, you guys, do what you can. Protect your family. Love you all so much. Take care.